Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Move to now the NDC. You know, this whole issue of a third term, no Muhammad. What are you reading on that whole issue? I see that you put out some publication on who is leading in the NDC if they should go for a flag bearer. People like Idrisu. Before we get there, what are you getting on this whole third term thing?
Look, the third term issue is a very thorny one for NDC people. There are people, obviously, who will say third term, even fourth term. I mean, they will say all sorts of things. And there are other Ghanaians, not just NDC, who also wish that we have third term. But one thing that Ghanaians are known for is they believe in true democracy.
Ghanaians do?
Yeah, they do. You know, they may love you for whatever reason, but if they believe that that action would not inure to good governance, and that would dent our credibility as a democratic country that we've known for in Africa, I think they will express their wishes, but they will respect the law that limits you to go third term. So, look, I haven't polled that yet, publicly polled that, but I believe people want to maintain the democracy we have and let Mahama leave the scene respectfully. And I think he also wants to do that. He doesn't want to mirror his image into joining the rest of African leaders who have changed constitutions to run third term or fourth term. So that's where we are. But there will be people who keep calling him to do that, but he won't do that. I know him. I know he will not do that.
I thought it was kind of premature too. I mean,
no.
You know, so, okay.
Look, I've also said that as a leader, you must develop someone or people in your team to take over from you. You can drop dead one day. What happens to the country? We move on.
Yeah. Now, in terms of potential candidates for the NDC too, you've spent some time, and I think Haruna was leading the pack. Is it Haruna Idrisu? How serious should we take that? Not Haruna. I mean the whole.
See, that's what people don't understand. You see, it's numbers game, right? Numbers game. These are views of Ghanaians across length and breadth of this country.
At a particular time.
At a particular point in time. That number is evolving, is changing, events is helping or shaping to change it. Currently, out of every 100 people you speak to, 26 say they prefer Haruna to lead. 23 say they prefer Atufosin to lead. 22 say they prefer Asedin Ketia to lead. 11% say they prefer Professor Jenana to lead. That's a top 4 for the NDC. So you can see that it's a top 4 race. Deborah distance fifth, I think, with 7%, and Ablakwa and Co. Now, what you must remember is that among these candidates are about 5 Akans. Asedin Ketia from the Akan region, Bono, Atufosin, Akan region, Central, Jenana, Central, Erikopoku, Ahafu, and then Julius Deborah, Eastern. 5 Akan candidates. And 75% of the Akan votes go to these 5 candidates. So it means that when the race consolidates, Akan candidate will lead eventually. That is mathematics. It's mathematics. It will happen. Because they will look at the best candidate among themselves and say, okay, let's back this person. And then, because our accounts are around 45% of the votes, 47% of the population, they tend to kind of have a bit of weight. And if you look at the dynamics of NDC race, Mahama being a northerner himself, when I say northern, I'm not saying about northern region, but a northern bloc, it will be difficult for the other groups in NDC to pick another northern bloc to lead them. And that is why, if you look at the data we published this morning, majority of the Akan support Akan candidates. Majority of the FS group support Akan candidate. Majority of the Gandangbi support Akan candidate. And even among the Mole Dagbanis, 51% of them support their own, but 43% still support Akan candidate. So it means that there is a groundswell of consensus that it is Akan's turn to lead. That is why we are seeing what we are seeing. So Haruna is leading by just 3% from Atufosin. When two people from the Akan drop, we expect either Atufosin or Asedin Ketia to take the lead.
So basically, you have captured this moment in time that as of now,
yes,
this is what it looks like.
Yes.
What can you foreseeably predict will change? Is there anything like...
Yes, I mean, we are going to have 3 candidates going forward in the poll. We're going to have Haruna Idrisu in the poll because he gets more than 10%. We've given a criteria, if you don't get 10%, we'll drop you. Otherwise, we have a long name of lists that we keep running. So the criteria is that for those making 10% at least in the public opinion poll, we'll keep their name running. If you don't make that percentage cut off, you'll be among others. So you'll be among others. And when that happens, we expect people to begin to realign, readjust properly. So Haruna Idrisu, Asedin Ketia, Atufosin, and Jenana Opoku. But we will have to make a decision on Jenana Opoku critically, whether we believe she's going to contest. So if we believe she won't contest, we will take a name out on technical grounds and leave the race for Atufosin, Haruna Idrisu, and Haruna and see where the public stand.
And your post to have said, and that Kennedy is using that you say if Bawumia is a flag bearer, he will lose to the NDC. Since you don't have anything standard, predictably put on the NDC candidates, you don't know even which of them is going to be the candidate there. What is the confidence to assume that whoever they pick will beat Bawumia? We
didn't assume whoever they picked. We used scenario of 4 candidates. Atufosin, Haruna Idrisu, Julius Debra, and Asedin Ketia. At the time, they were doing 10% of the vote. So they were people we used to do head-to-head. And we said that if these people were to face Bawumia, who would you vote for? So we know the numbers for Haruna against Bawumia. We have Haruna Atu against Bawumia, Asedin Ketia against Bawumia, and also Julius Debra against Bawumia. We've been doing that since September. And we did the same thing for Honorable Kennedy. Assuming Kennedy wins the NPP race, and he's facing the same 4 candidates, who are you going to vote for? And in all sincerity, both NPP candidates were losing against all the NDC candidates. Not just Bawumia was losing, Kent was losing. And in fact, the gap between Bawumia and the NDC candidate was much closer than the gap between Kennedy and NDC candidate.
So his claim that he's talking about now, that your polls even suggest that Bawumia will lose against the NDC, applies to him as well.
Yes, he was looking at one side of the coin. He forgot the other side.
I see. Wow. Let me get into this whole, get slightly personal for a bit.
Sure.
How do you get into polling? Because we know pollsters have statistics and all kind of backgrounds, Where did you emerge from? All of a sudden, it's Musa Dankwa, and how accurate your polls have been.
My background is accounting and finance. I'm a chartered accountant. I chartered in 2002 as an accountant. But I spent few years in accounting practice, but I went right into finance and projects and risk in UK. So I was an analyst, analyzing things, all sort of things. But then I began to have keen interest in polling way back in 2000 during the US elections, where Al Gore came face to face with George Bush, and Florida became the deciding factor. And then again in 2004, when John Kerry faced Bush again. And we remember in the 2004 election, that's when Obama delivered his famous convention speech that made him who he was. And then in 2006, Obama Clinton, that's when the data aspect of the whole interest came before my eyes. I said, look, I need to really understand this.
Before the data thing came up, what was fascinating you about the process before the data issues came up?
It's the way the Americans and even the Brits were using data to shape political campaign, political strategy, and how to win an election. How they immerse themselves in the data to understand the nuances of the data, not the headline noise making. Who are we targeting? How old are they? What is their interest? Where do they live?
That's specific.
Specifics. What do they want to hear from me? I mean, we run campaign in this country absolutely shambolic way. We pick few sentiments and we make it the big issues when they are not. And indeed, let's look at the last election. Typically, where a campaign was run completely in contrast with what people were saying. If you watch the last election, Mahama focused on the economy and job creation. NPP focused on free education. But the key top three issues, number 1 and 2, were jobs and the economy. So they didn't align themselves well to the cries and the needs of the country. So the person who was able to identify that gap was seen as the savior. So in the US or anywhere in the UK, you identify the issues that drive people's vote. And you seize on those issues and devise strategies and policies to address those needs. That is how you win election.
Was that what Mahama did? Sorry, you were talking Obama.
Yes, that's what Obama did. And he gave the hope message. You know, his slogan was hope.
Yeah. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Keep hope alive.
Absolutely. So he was able to tap into something that was missing in the American population across all races. He was the first black viable candidate to run for election in America. We've seen Jesse Jackson flop in many times. All the time, black people didn't go anywhere because they made their campaign a narrow kind of issues. Obama broadened the campaign across every demographic. And that's how he won. So to win an election, it's now a scientific means rather than propaganda.
So you think the concentration on breaking the 8 and free SHS didn't have that dramatic impact?
Not at all.
That they
no,
were,
not at all.
No.
I mean, if I was sitting in their campaign, I wouldn't guide them to go where they went.
Have they consulted you? Who is consulting you? You. I mean, you are an independent.
Yeah, independent.
Yeah.
But we provide data to everybody.
Okay. So they've all consulted?
We've given data to anybody who wants to get data.
Okay.
And there were times that they appointed some white people as consultants. In the end, they came back to us for the same data they've been insulting us on. So it's all well and good. But what we do is we don't advise national campaign. We aggregate data, and if you want that data, we give it to you. As to whether you should be giving paracetamol or antibiotics or Tylenol, it's not for us to tell you. You look for your advisors, tell you what to do with that data. We don't want to be in conflict, because when you advise two campaigns, you provide conflicting advice, and that will be unethical.
So there's never been an occasion where opposing sides have approached you for some kind of data?
No, they have. We would not dismiss that. They have done so from the current campaign of NPP. Yes, in the last election, there are people who came to us from foreign countries. We knew, without admitting where they had come from. So we know this is business.
So they spend money to bring the people from foreign countries,
yeah.
And when they get in, they quietly come and see you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. So we're talking about, looking at Obama's victory in terms of studying the data is what finally sparked your interest?
Yes. I do remember as well, when we were young growing up, Rawlings, 1992, election victories. And moving forward from there, we had people that we listening to when it comes to politics in this country. I mean, I would not shy to mention Ben Efsin, one of them, and lawyer Kakra Samoa.
Yeah.
They used to have a program on George those days. They call it, I think, Crossfire.
Yes.
And you don't want to miss it, you know.
Yeah,
you
Crossfire was hot. Yeah,
very hot. So we learned a lot from Ghana politics from there, and also, you know, following our elections for a very long time, I tend to understand a lot in our elections gone past, and I felt, okay, I can add some value this time around by doing things differently. We're able to put data to so many things. There are so many theories that we've held for many years that are not backed by data. There's speculation and a few experts here and there. And we're now able to put data to to dispel or prove some of the theories that we've been known. And I believe, as a company or as a person, I'm quite happy with the kind of profound impact we've made in this election space or political space.
And you have made a very profound impact.
Not only just that, in locally, internationally. I mean, there are entities that rely on hearsay to predict our elections in the past. Hearsay. They come and speak to a few people and they get some opinion and they say, okay, we think this will go this way. In the last election, we've seen huge, big global companies stop doing that and seeking permission from us to just take our data and put in their report.
Wow.
Some of them openly Fitch Solutions, they do that. Goldman Sachs, they spoke to us last time asking us permission to reproduce our data in their report to investors. And indeed, we've had a number of engagement with international investors to understand who is going to win the elections before the last election. And even who was going to be finance minister, they will ask you.
Really?
And as we speak, they still want to know who will be the president in 2029. They're not waiting for NDC and NPP to decide. They want to know. So we're making impact both internationally and locally. And we're quite happy that a bit of sanity has prevailed in terms of how data is used. Even the media, the way the media has been able to engage the data and to, engage the public, now it's about data. X, people are saying they are happy. X are not happy. People think that corruption has gone down or has gone up. The performance of the president is now data-driven. And it's very unfortunate that we have not had that data from when Rawlings was in office till now. So you can't scientifically, unless you go back and ask people, who do you think was best president? And many people have died. So you're not going to get, accurate stuff. But now we're asking people to rate the performance of the president from Akufo-Addo's time to Mahama, and we keep going. So we can pick data and say, okay, who was the best performing president by people's opinion? And who was the lowest in terms of our... So we can do some, sensible comparison between the performances. And I think that this has come to stay.
What is the assurance? Because where you are, and with all your accomplishments, it has made you very powerful because of the credibility.
Absolutely.
How do you maintain that credibility in spite of anything? I mean, people may want to make decent offers, say, at least throw this out there. Let the opinion that we can possibly win. Can you just throw something out there for us?
Let me start from my background, educational background. I spent some time studying in Denmark. And Denmark is one of the countries that's least corrupt. The ethical standards are very, very high in Denmark. From Denmark, I came to study in the UK. Not only in the UK, but I also did the ACC, accounting profession, where auditing plays a higher value in who you become as an accountant. Ethics. There was a complete paper about ethics, integrity, and all sorts of things. So everything I do, I look at the ethical implication of that. And that informs everything I do. And living life in the UK, working with Transport for London, being a finance manager in charge of risk and investment, with a portfolio of more than £5 billion in investment management. Look, I am not influenced by money. Money doesn't motivate me. People who know me, I can live the very basic life that anybody in this country can live in. I'm not pressurized under money. But I also work as a consultant, high-paid consultant job. And sometimes my work is not affordable to many even companies, quite expensive, my rate. So I wouldn't sit down for you to bring your small chicken feed to come and damage my reputation. And we've had an attempt, look, several attempts since 2019. People from NDC stock came, we didn't mind them. In 2020, people from NPP came, we didn't mind them.
So they wanted you to put some word out there to give the indication.
People come and offer you money that you add 3% to my percentage. Just 3%.
3%?
No, they don't want much.
And they make you an offer for the 3.
And somebody will come to you and say, look, this is my candidate. Where he is, I don't like it. Can you place him third position? Yeah. As recent as less than 2 months. And we stick to our principles. We're not going to temper anything. We don't want to abuse the trust that people have in us. Well, if they tell us they want A and we say B they want, that's a breach of trust. We don't want to do that now. So what you see is what we are being told. Not a single vote has been added or subtracted to anybody. No, absolutely not. And in some cases, somebody, okay, we know you don't take money to do this one, but you take this one and do. I said, no. If you want us to do work for you, pay for that separately. But the work we do for the public remains our obligation. We will use our money. Even if I have to go and borrow money to fund it, I'll do that. I will never take a peso from anybody to do public opinion poll that's meant for the public. And that we have stuck to that.
I'll come back to that, but I just want people to know that you do this kind of work beyond politics. You worked for, is it Guinness Ghana?
Yeah, we've done some work for Guinness Ghana. In fact, we were hired by their parent company then. What do you call him? Diageo. They used to own Guinness Ghana, but they sold it off recently. So Diageo hired us with a Danish company to do work for them. It started from February 2023 till the end of the year, about December. So it's a quite big job. We combed the entire country in 9 months.
Wow.
We also did work for Johnson & Johnson Pharmaceuticals in partnership with Deloitte in South Africa. We did some survey of health facilities in Ghana. It was 2022. We've done work for many other international companies on the quiet. Ghana here, we have clients. If you go to our website, you see some of the clients that we work for. And locally, we work in partnership with Deloitte Ghana to do many market research and other surveys in this country. So the politics
is like
it's just about 10% of what we do.
Wow.
Yes, but that's what people know us for, because the radio station makes more noisier than the ones we do privately.
So how do you feel? I know you said you're calling you tease that you're the most insulted. Knowing what you do and knowing where you come from, that you want to maintain a system of credibility and how do I call it? Respectability. No corrupt deals.
No.
And then people on the side say, oh, my corrupt man hasn't been paid. Do you just let that roll off your back, or does it affect you in any way?
No, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me at all. I mean, look, we've come from a very tough environment where we've been through all the nonsense in life. So those things doesn't bother me. It rather makes me stay focused, because you don't want to give anybody a chance to corrupt you. And you see, corruption comes in so many forms. If I believe what I'm going to do is unethical, I will just not do it. So it's not just the financial. The ethical side is more important than even the financial. Once you make an ethical decision, you will not be corrupted financially. So for me, the first step is being ethical. Assess the assignment, assess the issue. Is it ethical for you to do it? If it's ethical, go ahead. If it's unethical, it doesn't matter what comes out of it.
Do you see this polling, being a pollster, gradually overtaking the so many other things that you do, or being a pollster will still be there? I know it will still be there, but will it overtake? Because if internationally you're being consulted when it comes to the direction of politics in this country. That makes you big, man.
Look, I see myself as adding value to what I do as consultant. It's much more tangible in terms of human development. I worked with several companies in this country to implement a lot of systems and projects that are having real impact in people's lives. I've worked in South Sudan, make difference in people's lives. I've worked in Nigeria on World Bank sanitation project. Worked in the UK on train systems. Some of the trains, what they call the Victoria line you use when you go to London, we're part of the design of the power system and then the rolling stock itself. So I know what I have done in those years. But you see, to be able to change something soft like opinion poll, changing mindset of the people to look at things differently, and forcing the politicians to do the right thing, for me, is humbling. But it doesn't mean that I will not stop doing what I do. I work as consultant across the continent, and I still do. And it pays me far more than opinion poll.
Well, so long as you've decided to stay incorruptible, then, because if you choose to go the other way, then I
think also it is when you have little means to still survive on. If you don't have income that will sustain you, then
people can make you an offer.
This one. I remember somebody spoke to one media person. He said, "What is the price for this guy?" And he was told that this guy has no price. He didn't believe it.
Yeah,
people were looking for.
Everyone has a price.
Yes. And this is the real. Somebody asked.
Wow.
And the person told this guy has no price. And if you see me ordinarily, of course I will have a price because even the car he drives cry. So he will need a big car, but I'm not that kind of person.
Wow.
I'm not that kind of person.
Wow. This is really, really something weird, but I have to ask this. Musa Dankwa. Musa is like a nothing name. Dankwa is a Kamfodi. Explain Musa Dankwa.
That has been my problem even on social media. In the last few days, I've been lambasted that as a Northerner, I'm trying to promote two Northern candidates, Baumia and Haruna Idrisu.
Oh, wow. That's a charge now.
Because I'm a Musa.
Okay.
So I'm a Northerner.
Okay.
But I said to them that, look, I am fully Eastern region person. My mother is from Achimabwa.
Oh, you're Chini?
Yes. And wow. I come from the Oyuko clan.
They tell me both. Me too, I'm Chini. Oyuko.
I see. I'm from Oyuko.
Wow.
And my ancestral home is Achima Canteen.
Wow.
But my parents, my mother settled in Apinaman, in Akote constituency. But we come from a canteen, from the royal house of a canteen. My father is from Apredi, after Edukrum, on this mountain. Ekropo.
Wow.
So I am true Eastern region person. I have nothing to do with the northern regions. I'm a Muslim, and a Muslim doesn't make you a northerner. That is the only confusion that probably will happen. I'm a Muslim, and I'm an Eastern region person, and that is it.
Wow. Musa Dankwa.
You know, during the last election, some people who would attack you because they think you're not now. Then they say, Dankwa, see the same another And I said, exactly. In fact, we come from the same area, the same place, the same family, in fact. And I know that Oyuko as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is the value of what you do and the integrity with which you approach your job. For me, that matters than any religion or tribe you come from.
And it's not surprising that this has trickled down into the impact it has had on your work. Because trust me, you're so respected, whether they want to disregard that or not, that doesn't bother me. But the respect, Musa Dankwa, global information analytics, it's like the name has gravitas.
It's because we've stayed truly and truly to the data, honest with ourselves, and ensure that we observe the ethics of the profession. We know how people could use it to abuse it.
Yeah.
We don't want to be that group of people who do that.
Are you comfortable that none of your employees may be thinking, let's take advantage of this somewhere?
I always say that the values you espouse, people who join you will emulate it, and those who don't, they will fall out. While we are with me, you will behave like that.
If you don't, you fall out.
You fall out, yes.
Wow. Musa Anka, your final words. From where you sit, and I don't know whether you can, if Bawumia came to you now, say, Masa, I know you have a lot of data and you've done a lot of research. Advise me. What would you tell him? I want to start with him first, then I'll go to Muhammad.
If I was in that position, we will always emphasize that we are data aggregators. Even if I'm working for you privately to collect data for you, to see what is going on, you will not have influence on the way we do our work. No, all the polling companies in the world, they do private jobs, but you have safeguards put in place to make sure that you don't cross the line. And I will let you know whether it's a good news or bad news in what we do in public. You will see it. And I've said that to everybody who has come to me. But sometimes they promise you a job. The trick the people do, the politicians, with the hope that that promise will lead you to begin to show them favorably in the polls. There is somebody that gave me some job recently, and the polls went wrong way. But there's nothing I can do. The public is saying this, there's nothing I can do. Say, look, this is what the public is saying. So it is very difficult. Sometimes you look at somebody you really like, yet you must convey to him a bad message that the public are saying something different. So you must have that kind of the bravery to look at people in the face and say, look, this is the data. There's nothing else I can do. So, yeah, we do private work, but those work does not influence our public opinion job. And also, we let you know that these lines we don't cross.
Okay.
We have ethicals. And we have adopted some standards that have been used by American polling organizations. Some as a guide, because we don't have that entity in this country. We are the only one that is doing public opinion poll regularly. If we have other firms doing the same, we could form an association of polling entities, and then we can see how we can support each other. Because the more pollsters you have, the more you have various numbers to work with. Sometimes your methodology may be flawed here, but this person has a different methodology who may be superior. So in the end, when you find the average of all the 3 or 4 polls, you tend to remove the errors and have a bit of average performance, average poll that is accurate. At the moment, we're the only ones who are doing that. We'll be happy to see other companies stick out their neck and do it. The problem is that if you stick your neck out, you may lose some political job from politicians because they will see you as A or B. But for us, we're prepared for that. And because it wasn't my main source of income, I don't care whether you bring job or not. I know there are other audience I'm attracted to, international clients who are coming. So even if you don't see me as a client you can work with, there are others who will do so. And because I don't rely on the polling, it doesn't drive my financial my decisions. No.
Show some love, man. Musa Dankwa. Ochini Musa Dankwa. Hey, we're true. Do you know what somebody said? Or see, Ochama says so much, and I said, hey, Ochama said, what that really means is that he didn't say, but yeah, what is well, I
said to somebody, watch my man say, watch my pure water. I say, brim.
So, folks, this has been the first edition of Unfiltered for 2026, and you get a sense of what is going to be happening here. Mr. Akan, thank you so much. I'm honored to have you here. You know, I respect your work because of it, the precision and accuracy. I say this guy is not kidding around. He's doing something that we can all learn from. So it's good to have you here one-on-one and explain to us and many others who are out there what you do. And we wish you well.
Thank you.
And hope that people like you there'll be more people like you in the system.
Hope
and
so.
When is it? The 23rd that we should check the
January.
final. So Baumia and Kennedy supporters, please stick around. On the 23rd, we're going to get the final decision that it says they will stick their neck out and say, this is the man winning. And until then, Bernard, we'll be watching you too. Mr. Akan, thank you very, very much. We appreciate the praise, your presence.
My pleasure.
Fantastic. And we'll be getting you here more and more. Trust me.
Thank you.
Okay.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.